This video is brought to you by Grandeur Warranty, your #1 online source for factory-backed extended warranties in the country.
Do you remember what you were doing back in 2017? I do. I was worried about my hair, and look, I still have it. It turned out okay. And I mention that because in 2017 was when this car was first introduced. This is the brand new, well, almost brand new Mazda CX-5. And I'm going to call this review an oldie but a goodie, because this car is an oldie but a goodie, and it starts with what's under the hood. Now this is the Carbon Edition, which is $35,000, but you can get it for just over $30,000 if you get the S. And that's not bad, considering that the average price of a new car these days is $50,000. The Carbon Edition gets you things like wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, you know, the stuff we all like. Now under the hood is a 2.5 liter four-cylinder that produces 186 horsepower, Zach?
187.
187, I got it wrong by one, and 185 pound-foot of torque, mated to, you're welcome, to a 6-speed automatic transmission. Now you can get this with the turbo, same size engine, then you're looking at 256 horsepower, but you know what? I'm not sure you need that, because this is a nice and torquey engine, especially down low, which is where most of us drive our cars. Now, in terms of styling, I really believe that Mazda builds a handsome, in this case, crossover / SUV. I like the kind of slitty nature of these headlights where they kind of poke out from underneath the bodywork. I also like this big old Mazda badge, so there's no doubt behind what brand you're driving. And I also like the fact, especially here in Colorado, that this is an all-wheel drive car. Now let's go to the back and we'll see how much room there is. Now, this car, of course, competes in the most popular segment in America against cars like the RAV4, the Honda CR-V, and that's a very popular segment. Look at those two little exhausts poking out the back. How cute is that? And if you did want to tow with this, you could tow up to 2,000 pounds, which, you know, isn't a huge amount, but then again, I suspect most of you wouldn't want to tow with it. In terms of space, there's a heck of a lot of space back here. It has an 80-20-80 folding seat, so if you did have something like skis, you can easily
40-20-40.
40-20-40. Thank you, Zach. And then under here, look at that. We have a spare tire. So as much as I would like to make this video sponsored by our friends at Modern Tire, who provide spares for cars that don't have them, this car has it. Look at that. Back in 2017, we still had spare tires. Let me sit in the back and see how much room there is. Keep in mind that I am on the tallish side. I do love this blood red interior. It makes for a nice and, I'm going to call it jazzy look to the interior of the car. Plenty of headroom, plenty of leg room. I'm sitting behind myself, so keep in mind this seat is way back, but it's a little bit upright. But in general, what Mazda does really well is they build stylish, tidy cars, and they kind of punch above their weight class when it comes to both the ride and handling, which we'll get to in a second, and more importantly, the interiors and the exterior styling. And of course, this car is all of that. All right, let's jump in the front and talk about the problem. Because there is a problem. And that problem is the infotainment. Check this out. I'm going to start the car up, and you'll note that unlike most modern infotainment systems, this is not a touchscreen. Now, if you get the more expensive and the more modern, thank you, Zach, CX-50, then you will get a touchscreen, but in this one, you still have to use the little scrolly thing here, and then all these buttons, and it does get a little confusing. So if you like old school, like I said, oldie but a goodie, this is certainly the car to think about. But in general, easy layout to understand, nice big Porsche-like speedometer / tachometer, and, you know, leather-covered stitched steering wheel, good seating position, traditional sunroof, all the stuff that makes driving fun, as opposed to using a mouse to pilot what is, I'll take that, Zach, what is a computer. And this is certainly not a computer. All right, let's get behind the wheel and let's see how this car drives. Now, one of the things that I would say about the CX-5 is that Mazda is a small company, and that's a tough place to be in the automotive market, because big companies like, let's say, Toyota or Honda have obviously the power and the horsepower to weather tough times and to come up with the latest and greatest in technology. Small companies like Porsche have the ability to sell to, specific customers. It's the companies that are in the middle that have a hard time, like Mazda, like Volvo, and they have to do something unique and special. And what this car brings to the table that's unique and special is, in some ways, not only its ride and handling, not only its kind of tidy interior, but the fact that it's not a RAV4 or a CRV, and that you won't see it, around every corner. And there goes the little 2.5 four-cylinder. Car and Driver says that this car will do 0 to 60 at sea level in about 8.2 seconds. So it's not the speediest vehicle in town, but what it lacks in speed, it kind of makes up for in fun to drive. Out of the competitors, the two most popular cars in America right now, the RAV4 and the CRV, this certainly has the most interesting driving characteristics. It's well dampened, the steering is direct and linear, you can kind of feel what the tires and the suspension are doing. It's just a real joy to get behind the wheel. And it's very old school in that it still feels very mechanical and very analog, even in the way that it drives. And even that kind of wheezy 2.5 cylinder does the job and gets the car moving down the road. Now, if you want, of course, the more modern version of this, you could get the CX-50, and you could, of course, become completely digitized as opposed to analog. But if it were my money, I'd certainly spend $35,000 on a car that is something that I think a lot of modern cars are missing these days. The other thing that I like about Mazdas is that you won't see them around every corner. This is a company that has a very strong brand identity, and a couple of years ago in Japan I actually got to go to Mazda's HQ, and you can kind of tell when you're there that it's one of those small companies that is punching above its weight class, because they're certainly competing with giants in the industry, and like David and Goliath, they have to make up for it somehow, and the way that they do it is by providing, well, it used to be called Zoom, Zoom, Zoom. Today, of course, it's called brand integrity or brand value. That goes beyond just, selling another of the, 450,000 RAV4s that are sold annually in America. And so you really get a sense that, the people at Mazda care about the cars that they're building. So, to wrap up, we've got a small car company building a car that's been around, since 2017. And in general, they've done a really good job in keeping it real and keeping it honest. And one of the things that I think I should mention at this point is, if you do want peace of mind when you buy a car like this, check out our sponsor below, Grainger Warranty. They will extend the factory warranty, and they'll use factory technicians to get the job done. You can use Mazda parts as well. And so if that's something that you're thinking about, especially nowadays when people are hanging on to their cars much longer than they used to because of, inflation and the rising price of new cars, check out Grainger Warranty below. All right, guys, oldie but a goodie, just like myself. I still have my hair. This car still has a lot of brand value. And remember, if you want to see more reviews from TFL, head on over to alltfl.com, and I shall see you later. Ciao.